The alarm bells screamed across United Earth Defense Council headquarters in Geneva. Admiral Park Hyun stood at the massive viewing window, watching the sky turn dark as something enormous blocked out the sun. The alien ship was bigger than anything humanity had ever seen. It stretched 15 kilometers from nose to tail, covered in strange weapons that glowed with purple energy. "Sir, we're getting a transmission," said Lieutenant Park So-young from her station. Her voice stayed calm, but her hands shook as she worked the controls. "Put it on the main screen," Admiral Park Hyun ordered. He had fought in 3 wars and seen friends die in space battles, but nothing had prepared him for this moment. The screen flickered to life, showing a creature that looked like a giant lizard walking on 2 legs. Its scales were green and purple, reflecting light like broken glass. When it spoke, its voice was deep and cold. "I am Ambassador Vextar of the Kelton Empire. You will listen carefully, humans. Your species has been judged and found wanting. You have stolen our technology. You have expanded into space without permission. You have shown aggression toward peaceful worlds." Dr. Kim Nari stepped forward from where she had been studying readings from the alien ship. She was the smartest person Admiral Park Hyun knew, and right now her face was pale with fear. "That's not true," she whispered, but the alien continued speaking. "The Kelton Empire has conquered 17 worlds in the past 50 years. Each world that refused our generous offer of protection was destroyed completely. Their cities burned. Their people became slaves or died. We offer you the same choice we offered them." The screen changed to show images that made everyone in the room gasp. Burned cities on distant planets, strange alien creatures in chains, ships exploding in space, children running from robot soldiers. The images kept coming, each one worse than the last. "You have 72 hours to surrender completely. Send 1 representative to our ship to sign the papers of surrender. If you refuse, or if you try to fight, we will turn your planet into dust. Your children will work in our mines. Your soldiers will die in our armies. Your leaders will serve as examples to other worlds that think they can resist the Empire." Ambassador Vexitar's eyes glowed red as he leaned closer to the camera. "We know you have maybe 50 ships in your defense fleet. We have 200 ships waiting just outside your solar system. This is not a battle you can win. This is not a choice you can avoid. Surrender or die." The transmission ended, leaving the command room in total silence. Admiral Park Hyun looked around at his staff. These were good people who had dedicated their lives to protecting Earth. Now they faced an enemy that seemed impossible to defeat. Captain Lee Jun was the first to speak. He commanded Seoul's Pride, the newest and strongest ship in Earth's fleet. "Sir, my ship can be ready to fight in 2 hours. The crew is willing to die for Earth." "We all are," said Commander Yoon Suki, who led the Deep Space Patrol ships. "But 50 ships against 200? And that monster up there?" She pointed at the ceiling where everyone knew the alien ship waited. Dr. Kim Nari walked to the center of the room. She had spent years studying pieces of alien technology that exploration teams had found on distant worlds. "I need to tell you all something. 3 years ago, our long-range scouts detected ships moving toward Earth. We've been tracking the Kelton Empire since then." Admiral Park Hyun turned to face her. "What are you saying, Doctor?" "I'm saying we knew this day would come. We've been preparing." She pulled up files on her computer tablet. "Every piece of alien technology we found wasn't found by accident. We've been stealing it on purpose, learning how their weapons work, how their ships fly, how their computers think." Engineer Choi Dae, who had been quiet until now, stepped forward. "The doctor is right, sir. The Colonial Development Program wasn't just about building new homes for humans. Every ship that left Earth carried hidden weapons. Every mining station in the asteroid belt has gun batteries. Every research base on the outer planets has been turned into a fortress." The room erupted in confused voices. People asked questions all at the same time. Admiral Park Hyun raised his hand for silence. "Are you telling me we have more than 50 ships?" Dr. Kim Nari smiled for the first time that day. "Admiral, we have more than 3,000 ships. Most of them look like cargo vessels and mining ships and research platforms. But they're all armed and ready to fight." General Han Wu, who ran Earth's weapons programs, nodded slowly. We made our real fleet disappear 3 years ago. We scrapped old warships and made the aliens think we were weak. Meanwhile, we built new ships in secret locations, hidden shipyards in the asteroid belt, underground factories on the moon, mobile construction platforms that move around Jupiter. Captain Lee Jun's eyes went wide. Soul's Pride isn't our best ship. It's our oldest new ship, Engineer Choi Day explained. We built it to look impressive to any aliens watching us. But the real fleet is hidden throughout the solar system, waiting for the signal to attack. Ambassador Vextar's message had said humans were thieves and aggressors. Now Admiral Park Hyun understood why. Humanity had been watching the Kelton Empire destroy other worlds for years. They had been preparing for this exact moment, when the Empire would come for Earth. So what do we do now? Asked Lieutenant Park So-young. Admiral Park Hyun looked at each person in the room. These people had kept the biggest secret in human history. They had prepared for war while pretending to be peaceful explorers and traders. We give them exactly what they expect, he said. Dr. Kim Nari, you'll go to their ship as our representative. Captain Lee Jun, Soul's Pride, will escort her, along with a small diplomatic fleet. You'll act scared and desperate. What about the hidden fleet? Asked Commander Yoon Suki. They stay hidden until the right moment, Admiral Park Hyun replied. The Keltons think they're fighting 50 human ships. When they realize they're fighting 3,000, it will be too late. Dr. Kim Nari gathered her files and prepared to leave for what everyone knew might be a suicide mission. But as she walked toward the door, she turned back to face Admiral Park Hyun. Sir, what should I tell them when they demand our surrender? Admiral Park Hyun thought about the images they had seen. Burned cities, dead children, enslaved worlds. Then he thought about the hidden fleet waiting throughout the solar system. Tell them humanity appreciates their offer, he said, but we respectfully decline. 3 years earlier, Commander Yoon Suki had been leading a routine deep space patrol near the edge of human territory. Her small ship was checking on mining operations in the outer asteroid fields when her sensors picked up something that changed everything. Captain, I'm reading massive energy signatures approaching from deep space, her communications officer had reported. Multiple contacts, moving in formation. Yoon Suki had ordered her ship to hide behind a large asteroid and go completely silent. What they saw through their telescopes made her blood run cold. A fleet of alien warships, each one bigger than Earth's largest battleship, moving steadily toward human space. She had rushed back to Earth with recordings and sensor data that proved humanity was not alone in the galaxy. More importantly, it proved that someone was coming to find them. That discovery had started the biggest secret project in human history. While most people on Earth went about their normal lives, thousands of engineers, soldiers, and scientists began preparing for war. Engineer Choi Day had been one of the first people brought into the secret program. He had survived being captured by alien raiders 5 years earlier when they attacked the Proxima colony. During his time as a prisoner, he had learned how alien technology worked. Their ships are strong, but they're not smart, he explained to the Secret Planning Committee. They rely on brute force and intimidation. They expect their enemies to be afraid and make mistakes. If we can stay calm and think clearly, we can beat them. The committee had made a difficult decision. They would make Earth look weak and unprepared, while secretly building the largest military fleet in human history. Every civilian ship leaving Earth would carry hidden weapons. Every space station would become a fortress. Every mining operation would become a weapons factory. General Han Woo had been in charge of making it all work. He had to hide the construction of 3,000 warships while making it look like Earth's military was getting smaller and weaker. We scrapped every old warship we had, he had explained to Admiral Park Hyun during one of their secret meetings. We made sure alien spies saw us destroying our weapons. We wanted them to think we were peaceful traders and scientists who couldn't fight back. Meanwhile, in hidden shipyards throughout the solar system, human workers had been building a fleet, unlike anything ever seen. The ships looked like ordinary cargo vessels, research platforms, and mining ships. But inside their civilian shells, they carried military-grade weapons, armor, and shields. The plan was brilliant in its simplicity. The Kelton Empire expected to find a weak, frightened world with a small defense fleet. Instead, they would face an enemy that had been preparing for them for years. Captain Lee Jun had been told about the real fleet only 6 months ago, when Seoul's Pride was nearly finished. He had thought his ship was humanity's greatest achievement. Then General Han Wu had shown him recordings of the hidden fleet. Seoul's Pride is our decoy, Han Wu had explained. She's built to look impressive and make the aliens think she's our best ship, but she's actually one of our weakest vessels. The real warships are bigger, faster, and much more heavily armed. Now, as the 72-hour deadline approached, all of those hidden ships were moving into position. From Earth's asteroid belt to the ice fields around Neptune, human vessels were preparing for the largest space battle in history. Commander Oh-min led a squadron of ships hidden in Jupiter's storms. Her vessels looked like gas mining platforms, but they were actually heavily armed stealth destroyers. The thick clouds around Jupiter hid them from alien sensors, while their weapons could strike targets anywhere in the solar system. All ships. Report ready, she transmitted to Admiral Park Hyun on a secret communication channel. The aliens have no idea we're here. Captain Bae-hoon commanded what looked like a convoy of slow, harmless cargo ships moving between Earth and Mars. In reality, his vessels were Q-ships, fake merchant vessels packed with hidden weapons. They could destroy enemy warships before. The aliens realized they were under attack. "My ships are in position near Mars," he reported. "The aliens scanned us twice and decided we weren't worth worrying about. They have no idea what we really are." Dr. Kim Nari had spent 3 years studying every piece of Keltan technology they could steal or capture. She had learned their language, understood their culture, and most importantly, figured out how their weapons and computers worked. "They're not as advanced as they pretend to be," she had told the planning committee. "Most of their technology is stolen from other species they conquered. They don't really understand how it works. They just know how to use it. That's their weakness." She had developed computer viruses that could infect Keltan systems. She had found ways to jam their communications. She had even learned how to turn their own weapons against them. Now, as Seoul's Pride prepared to carry her to the alien flagship, Dr. Kim Nari carried with her the tools to cripple the Keltan fleet from the inside. Hidden in her diplomatic equipment were devices that could hack into alien computers and shut down their weapons. The Keltans thought they were about to accept the surrender of a primitive, helpless world. They had no idea that humanity had turned the entire solar system into a trap. Every asteroid mining station had been fitted with hidden missile launchers. Every space platform had been given powerful energy weapons. Every research base had been turned into a military fortress. Even the civilian ships traveling between planets carried weapons and were ready to fight. Admiral Park Hyun stood in the secret command center hidden beneath Geneva. From here, he could control the entire hidden fleet. Thousands of ships were waiting for his orders, spread throughout the solar system in positions the aliens could never expect. "Status report," he ordered. "All ships in position and ready," reported Commander Yoon Suki. "The aliens still show only 200 ships on their side. They haven't called for reinforcements because they think this will be easy. Stealth squadrons." "Report ready," added Commander Oh-min. "We can hit them from Jupiter, Saturn, and the outer asteroid belt simultaneously." "Q-ship convoys are ready," said Captain Bae-hoon. "When the aliens realize we're armed, they'll already be surrounded." Engineer Choi Dae looked up from his computer displays. "All hidden weapons platforms are online. Every space station, every mining facility, every research base is ready to fight. The aliens think they're attacking one small planet. They're actually attacking a fortress that spans the entire solar system." Admiral Park Hyun nodded slowly. Humanity had spent 3 years preparing for this moment. They had built the largest fleet in their history while making their enemies think they were weak and helpless. Soon, the Keltan Empire would learn that sometimes the smallest prey could be the most dangerous predator. Captain Lee Jun stood on the bridge of Seoul's Pride as his ship slowly approached the massive Keltan flagship. Behind him, a small convoy of human vessels followed, their crews broadcasting fake distress signals and emergency communications to make it seem like Earth was panicking. "Remember, we need to look desperate and afraid," he told his crew. "Let them think we're bringing our best ship to surrender because we have no choice." Dr. Kim Nari sat in the diplomatic section of the ship, wearing formal clothes and carrying what looked like surrender documents. Hidden in her briefcase were the real tools she would need, computer devices that could hack Keltan systems and weapons disguised as diplomatic gifts. The alien flagship grew larger as they approached. Up close, it was even more frightening. Purple energy coursed along its hull like lightning. Weapon ports opened and closed like hungry mouths. Strange symbols glowed across its surface in patterns that hurt human eyes to look at. "Soul's Pride, you will dock at Port 17, came the alien voice over their communications. "Your representative will board our ship alone. Any attempt to bring weapons or recording devices will result in immediate destruction." "Understood," Captain Lee Jun replied, making his voice sound tired and defeated. "We're just here to surrender. We don't want any more fighting." As Soul's Pride moved into the docking port, Dr. Kim Nari felt a chill run down her spine. She was about to board an enemy ship that could vaporize her in an instant. But she also knew that every hidden human ship throughout the solar system was watching and waiting for her signal. The airlock opened with a hiss, and Dr. Kim Nari stepped into the alien ship. The corridors were huge, built for creatures much larger than humans. The walls pulsed with organic-looking patterns, and the air smelled like metal and something rotting. 2 alien guards escorted her through winding passages to a massive chamber. Ambassador Vextar waited for her, surrounded by other Kelton officers. Their scales reflected the purple light from the ship's systems, making them look like living jewels. "So," Vextar said, his voice echoing in the huge room, "humanity has finally come to accept reality. You bring your surrender documents?" Dr. Kim Nari set her briefcase on the table between them. "I bring Earth's official response to your ultimatum," she said calmly. Vexitar's eyes glowed brighter. "Good. Your species will serve the Empire well. Your children will work in our mines. Your soldiers will fight in our armies. Your leaders will be examples to other worlds that dare to resist us." "Actually," Dr. Kim Nari said, opening her briefcase, "I need to correct something you said earlier. You claimed humanity stole your technology and expanded aggressively into space." "Yes, we have proof of your crimes," Vextar replied. Dr. Kim Nari pulled out a datapad and activated it. The screen showed images of Keltan ships attacking human colonies, alien raiders capturing human prisoners, and Keltan forces stealing human technology. "You're right that we took your technology," she said, "but we didn't steal it randomly. We took it on purpose, over many years, because we were studying you. We knew you were coming to conquer Earth long before you arrived here." The alien officers looked confused. Vextar leaned forward, his claws scraping against the metal table. "What are you saying, human?" "I'm saying we've been preparing for you for 3 years. Every piece of your technology we stole was taken so we could learn how your ships work, how your weapons function, how your computers think. We've been planning for this exact moment since the day we discovered your empire existed." Dr. Kim Nari stood up and walked to the center of the room. "You said we expanded aggressively into space. That's also true. But we weren't expanding to conquer other worlds. We were expanding to build the largest military fleet in human history." Vextar's scales began to change color, shifting from green to angry red. "You lie. Our scouts observed your pathetic fleet. 50 ships at most. Old technology. Weak weapons. Your scouts saw exactly what we wanted them to see," Dr. Kim Nari replied. "We made ourselves look weak and helpless while we prepared for war. We scrapped our old ships so you would think we were peaceful. We hid our real fleet so you would underestimate us." She activated her datapad again. This time the screen showed images that made the Kelton officers gasp. Hundreds of human warships hidden in asteroid fields. Weapon platforms disguised as mining stations. Research vessels that were actually military ships in disguise. "While you were planning to conquer one small planet with 50 defense ships," Dr. Kim Nari continued, "we were turning our entire solar system into a fortress. Every asteroid mining station has hidden weapons. Every space platform is actually a military base. Every civilian ship is armed and ready to fight." Ambassador Vexitar stood up, his full height towering over the human woman. "Impossible. Our sensors would have detected such preparations." Dr. Kim Nari smiled coldly. "Your sensors detected exactly what we wanted them to detect. We've been jamming your spy systems for months. We've been feeding you false information through captured communication devices. We made you think Earth was weak and unprepared while we built the largest trap in the history of space warfare." The alien officers began speaking rapidly in their own language. Dr. Kim Nari couldn't understand their words, but their fear was obvious. She had just told them that their easy conquest had become a deadly trap. "You're bluffing," Vextar said, but his voice was no longer confident. "Even if you have more ships than we thought, we still have superior technology and experience." "Do you?" Dr. Kim Nari asked. She pressed another button on her datapad. Suddenly, every screen in the alien command chamber lit up with images from throughout Earth's solar system. Near Jupiter, what had looked like gas mining platforms suddenly revealed themselves as heavily armed destroyers. Around Mars, cargo convoys shed their fake hulls to show massive weapons. In the asteroid belt, mining stations unfolded to become military fortresses. "We have over 3,000 ships," Dr. Kim Nari said as the images kept coming. "Most of them are bigger and more heavily armed than anything in your fleet. And every one of them has been modified with technology we learned from studying your own systems." The alien officers were now openly panicking. They had come to accept the surrender of a helpless world. Instead, they had walked into a trap that had been years in the making. Vextar's claws extended as he stepped toward Dr. Kim Nari. "If this is true, then we will simply call for reinforcements. The Empire has thousands of ships throughout the galaxy." "Go ahead and try," Dr. Kim Nari replied calmly. "We've been jamming your long-range communications for the past hour. Your fleet is cut off and alone." She walked back to the table and closed her briefcase. "You demanded Earth's surrender, Ambassador Vextar. But humanity has a different response. For you." She looked directly into his glowing red eyes. "We respectfully decline your offer. And now you'll face our battleships." The moment Dr. Kim Nari finished speaking, alarms began screaming throughout the Kelton flagship. Ambassador Vextar spun toward the nearest communication panel as reports flooded in from his fleet. "Sir, we have massive contacts decloaking throughout." "The system!" came a panicked voice. "Hundreds of ships appearing near Jupiter. More ships revealing themselves in the asteroid belt. The mining platforms around Mars are actually weapons platforms." Vextar's eyes blazed with fury as he looked at Dr. Kim Nari. "You have made a terrible mistake, human. Even with more ships, you cannot defeat the Kelton Empire. We have conquered 17 worlds. We know how to fight." "You know how to fight helpless colonies and scared civilians," Dr. Kim Nari replied calmly. "You've never fought anyone who was ready for you." Outside the flagship, the battle was already beginning. Commander O-Min led her squadron of stealth destroyers out of Jupiter's clouds, their weapons charging as they accelerated toward the surprised Kelton fleet. "All ships, this is Commander O-Min," she broadcast on the human command frequency. "Target the alien communication arrays first. Cut them off from each other." Her ships moved like deadly shadows, appearing from the gas giant storms and striking at the larger Kelton vessels. Their weapons had been designed specifically to penetrate alien armor, using technology stolen from previous raids. Near Mars, Captain Bayhoon's convoy of fake cargo ships was transforming before the aliens' eyes. Hidden armor plates slid away to reveal massive gun batteries. Fake cargo containers opened to launch swarms of missiles. Ships that had looked slow and helpless suddenly accelerated with military-grade engines. "This is Captain Bayhoon to all Q-ship squadrons," he transmitted. "Deploy all hidden weapons and engage enemy vessels. Remember, they expect us to run away in fear. Instead, we hunt them." The Kelton fleet found itself under attack from directions they had never expected. What they thought was empty space, suddenly filled with human warships. Mining stations that should have been defenseless opened fire with weapons more powerful than anything on Kelton destroyers. Admiral Park Hyun watched the battle from his hidden command center beneath Geneva. Displays showed him the location of every ship in the solar system, both human and alien. The trap was working perfectly. "Status report," he ordered. "Jupiter Squadron has destroyed 6 Kelton ships and damaged 12 more," reported Commander Yoon Suki. "They're trying to retreat, but our stealth ships are following them. Mars Squadron has the aliens completely surrounded," added Captain Bayhoon over the communication link. "Half of their fleet is trying to run toward the outer system, but they're flying right into our other hidden squadrons." Engineer Choi Dae looked up from his computer displays. "Admiral, the aliens are trying to use their communication systems to call for help, but our jamming is working perfectly. They can't contact their empire." Meanwhile, aboard the Kelton flagship, Ambassador Vextar was realizing that his entire fleet was being destroyed by an enemy he had thought was helpless. Reports kept coming in from his ships, each one worse than the last. "The mining stations are armed with planet-killer weapons," screamed one captain. "They just destroyed our entire third squadron." "We're surrounded by human ships that appeared from nowhere," shouted another. "They're using our own technology against us, but somehow they've made it better." Dr. Kim Nari watched the alien officers panic as their perfect plan fell apart. "You made one crucial mistake," she told Vexitar. "You assumed that because other species couldn't fight back, humans would be the same way. We studied every world. You conquered," she continued. "They all made the same error. They tried to meet your fleet in direct battle, strength against strength. They fought the way you expected them to fight, so you won." Vextar's claws scraped against the metal floor as he paced back and forth. "What is your point, human?" "Humans don't fight fair," Dr. Kim Nari explained. "We use every advantage we can find. We lie, we cheat, we hide, and we strike from shadows. We turn our weaknesses into strengths and make our enemies' strengths work against them." The battle outside was proving her right. Human ships weren't meeting the Kelton fleet in honorable combat. Instead, they attacked from hiding places, used the aliens' own weapons against them, and disappeared back into concealment before the enemy could respond. Captain Lee Jun's Soul's Pride, still docked with the alien flagship, suddenly revealed its true purpose. What the Keltons thought was a diplomatic escort was actually a boarding ship filled with human soldiers. "All teams, go," Captain Lee Jun ordered. Human soldiers poured through the docking connections into the alien ship. They moved quickly through the corridors, using maps Dr. Kim Nari had created from stolen Kelton computer files. Their weapons were specifically designed to work in alien atmospheres and against alien armor. Lieutenant Park So-young led one team toward the flagship's main computer core. "Remember, we're not here to destroy the ship," she told her soldiers. "We need to capture it intact so we can learn everything they know about the Empire." Another team headed for the engine room, while a third group fought their way toward the Alien Command Center, where Dr. Kim Nari was still talking to Ambassador Vextar. The battle throughout the solar system was turning into a complete disaster for the Kelton Empire. Their ships, designed to intimidate and overpower weaker enemies, couldn't cope with human tactics. Commander Oh-min's stealth destroyers would appear from behind asteroids, fire all weapons, then disappear again before the aliens could return. Fire. "Hit and run, people," she ordered her squadron. "Don't give them a chance to figure out where we are." Captain Bayhoon's Q ships looked like they were running away in panic, drawing Kelton ships into pursuing them. But when the aliens gave chase, they found themselves flying into carefully prepared ambushes where hidden human ships waited with full weapons ready. They're so used to enemies running away that they can't imagine enemies who retreat on purpose, Captain Bayhoon reported to Admiral Park Hyun. "Every time they chase us, we lead them into another trap." The most devastating attacks came from the converted mining stations and research platforms throughout the system. The aliens had ignored these installations because they looked harmless and civilian. Now those same installations were revealing weapons more powerful than anything on military ships. "Mining laser converted to weapons mode," reported one station commander. "We just cut a Kelton cruiser in half with one shot." "Research platform weapons online," called another. "Our experimental energy cannon just vaporized 3 enemy fighters." Ambassador Vexitar watched his fleet being destroyed on the command screens, his confidence crumbling with every report of human victories. His species had built their empire on fear and overwhelming force, but neither was working against these strange humans. "How?" he demanded, turning to Dr. Kim Nari. "How did you know we were coming? How did you prepare so perfectly?" Dr. Kim Nari smiled as she heard the sound of human soldiers fighting their way through the ship's corridors. "Because we're not like the other species you conquered. We don't just react to threats. We plan for them. We've been watching your empire destroy worlds for years, learning how you fight, figuring out your weaknesses." The command chamber doors exploded inward as Lieutenant Park So-young and her soldiers burst in, their weapons trained on the alien. "Officers, surrender now," Lieutenant Park So-young ordered, "and you'll be treated as prisoners of war. Keep fighting, and we'll show you what humans do to enemies who threaten our children." Ambassador Vexistar's claws extended as he faced the human soldiers, but his defiance crumbled when he saw the determination in their eyes. These weren't the frightened primitives he had expected to conquer. These were warriors who had turned his trap into their victory. "Wait," Dr. Kim Nari said, raising her hand to stop the soldiers from firing. "Don't kill them yet. We need information about the Empire, and we need them to see what humanity really stands for." Lieutenant Park So-young kept her weapon trained on Vextar but didn't fire. "Doctor, these aliens were planning to enslave our entire species. They've destroyed 17 worlds. They deserve to die." "Maybe they do," Dr. Kim Nari replied. "But we're not going to become like them. We're better than that." Through the flagship's viewing screens, they could see the battle ending throughout the solar system. The Kelton fleet was either destroyed or surrendering. Human ships surrounded the remaining alien vessels, demanding their crews lay down weapons and prepare to be boarded. Admiral Park Hyun's voice came over the communication system. "All human vessels, cease firing. The alien fleet is defeated. Begin rescue operations for any survivors and prepare to take prisoners." Vextar looked confused. "Rescue operations? You're going to save our soldiers who were trying to kill you?" "That's what civilized people do," Dr. Kim Nari explained. "We don't let people die just because they're our enemies." Captain Lee Jun appeared on the command chamber's doorway, his uniform torn from fighting through the ship's corridors. "Doctor, we've secured the entire flagship. The alien crew is surrendering, but there's something you need to see." He led them through the ship's passages to a massive cargo bay. When the doors opened, Dr. Kim Nari gasped at what she found inside. Hundreds of creatures from dozens of different species were locked in metal cages. They were thin, sick, and covered in scars from years of abuse. "Prisoners from the worlds they conquered," Captain Lee Jun explained. "The aliens were transporting them to work as slaves in their mines and factories." Dr. Kim Nari walked among the cages, seeing creatures that looked like giant insects, others that resembled walking plants, and some that seemed to be made of living crystal. All of them showed the same signs of torture and starvation. "Can you understand me?" she asked, one of the prisoners, a creature that looked like a combination of bird and lizard. The creature's eyes focused on her with difficulty. You're not Kelton," it whispered in broken English. "Are you here to free us?" "Yes," Dr. Kim Nari said firmly. "We're humans from Earth. We just defeated the Kelton fleet, and now we're going to free every prisoner they took." Word of the rescue spread throughout the human fleet. Every captured Kelton ship was found to contain prisoners from the worlds the Empire had conquered. Thousands of beings who had been enslaved for years were suddenly free. Commander Yoon Suki reported from her position near the outer planets. "Admiral, we've found 17 different species among the prisoners. Some of them have been captives for decades. The aliens were using them for forced labor and medical experiments. Admiral Park Hyun made a decision that would change human history. All ships, new orders. Our mission is no longer just to defend Earth. We're now liberating every prisoner the Keltons have taken. We're going to undo everything this empire has done." The news reached Earth within hours, and the planet's reaction was immediate. Instead of celebrating their military victory, humans began organizing the largest rescue operation in their history. Medical ships launched from every spaceport. Volunteer doctors, teachers, and social workers signed up to help the freed prisoners. Engineer Choi Dae, working aboard one of the captured Kelton,